Alright everyone, my name is Mowmaster. Welcome back to All the Mods 10. We're on by ourselves. It is 2 hours before I would normally post a video on a Friday morning, but here we are. I'm trying to make a better quality recording based on all the feedback we've been getting. I thought I would try my hand at maybe improving this video. Seems how I am, I'm kind of using the first 5 videos or so as our test bed for trying to get our settings set up properly and whatnot. And I basically recorded the first batch of videos with XSplit. I have a lifetime license from 5 years ago or whenever they did their birthday celebration thing. They offered lifetime licenses for a fair bit of money. But I thought at the time that, hey, I'll get enough use out of this over the years that it'll be fine. Theoretically, I've probably gotten my use out of it at this point. But for whatever reason, I cannot get a good quality video recording out of that stinking software anymore. I've tried their highest quality. I've tried just all sorts of stuff for recording, and I just can't figure out how to get it any higher quality than what I'm currently getting. I thought maybe it was my source, maybe my capture card is recording at a low quality. It's reporting in XSplit that it's only like a 1280 by 720. But the thing is I'm currently using OBS right now. I know everyone's like, OBS is the best, it's open source, blah, 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 blah. I have some issues with OBS once in a while. It has some glitches and stuff, so I'm a little scared. But I am running OBS instead of using my graphics card. I am using just the CPU. And honestly, in my old computer, the CPU just running a recording program, it's only running at like 20%, so it's not a huge deal. I could probably record a higher quality video at that requires a more CPU strength or something, because it looks like at 20% it's doing okay. And at least from the preview in OBS, it looks fine. So I'm hoping this doesn't have any issues with like encoding errors, because that's what I think the issue has been. I think there's some encoding errors going on with my old GPU, and even my new GPUs having issues with encoding on my main PC now. So it might just be NVIDIA in general's having issues for their drivers, or maybe I just reinstall my computer or something. I don't know. Shit, let's run away, fuckers. But yeah, anywho, I'm trying to improve the video here. 2 hours before it uploads, or needs uploaded, I should say. So this one will probably be out late, unfortunately, on Friday. I've been trying to upload them at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time because I live in the Midwest. It's kind of my time zone. But yeah, it might go up a little late because I'm literally recording it at 4:06 in the morning. So yeah, and that's not the reason I'm up. Honestly, I'm up for another reason, and I might touch on it a little bit today. But yeah, kind of a recap of the last 2 episodes. Episode 1, I don't know if I'm going to get around to porting pedestals. I'm basically starting a new chapter in my life, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to dedicate the time to porting pedestals and other mods. If I do, I don't know if it will be pedestals. I mean, I still do pedestals. Honestly, I've been getting kind of an itch to do it, just because pedestals has always kind of been my like test bed mod, if you will, for newer versions, to learn how newer versions work. Whereas like Bibliomania, I really need more of a like concrete foundation to build that, especially because it's a new project as well, right? So yeah, I might get around to porting it if I do, but as of right now, TLDR of episode 1, not planning on it, unless something happens, and there may be some options here. We'll see. And then episode 2, basically, corporations suck. I lost my job due to restructuring. I don't really blame my boss for it, because he seemed or acted like he was pretty broke up about the fact that he was having to fire a bunch of people. And then, my boss's boss and my direct boss, they were not even in the loop until the day of. So basically, it was a corporate decision to let go of a bunch of people to raise the stock price. Which, good for the retirees that are retiring, and, the stock is their dividends every year or whatever, because a lot of older employees got stock bonuses instead of actual bonuses. So yeah, everyone who's retired from this company now, they want the stock price to be increased because they want more money for their pensions and their 401ks and stuff. And so I imagine that's partly why our company is dead set on raising their stock price as much as they possibly can in the next, until this current president's no longer president of the company or whatever. So yeah, I don't know the exact situation, but everyone is blaming stock increase promise from the president as the reason why it's happening. I sure it's other reasons. My company's not the only company that's been letting people go in the IT department of things. A lot of companies hired way too many people over COVID, and now they have too many people, and they're trying to let go of those people. So I do understand it to an extent. It just sucks, honestly, is what it amounts to. So yeah, it just really sucks. That's all. But yeah, that's TLDR of episode 2. But yeah, feedback on episode 1, audio was poor. Feedback on episode 2, video quality kind of sucks. So I am trying my darndest here to increase some of those things for you folks. Damn, costs the same regardless. But yeah, anywho. Mm-hmm. But yeah, corporations suck. I had someone on the last episode say, "Hey Mo, do you need someone to edit and or make thumbnails and stuff?" I'm currently just doing YouTube for purely enjoyment, basically to talk through kind of my crazy life. Because as you can tell, the last couple episodes have literally just been me talking and running around. So this episode will be no difference. Sorry. I just need a place to vent right now. Life's been insane, and yeah, a lot of things are changing, and I'm just not completely all used to it all. Oh yeah, by the way, because I've deleted previous recordings, yeah, there's a lot of things that have happened since we last did an episode, aka this chicken farm, which produces eggs for my Sourceberry pie. I'm using the pylons mod as well for this farm here. Basically, you place the block down, you select work area size, and then you throw a hoe in there, and it just keeps working. I am testing to see if this broken hoe still counts as a hoe, and it keeps harvesting. And I don't know if the durability on this is going down, even though this says it's broken. But because it's a silence tool, so to speak, is it actually broken? I don't know. Maybe it's still being used because it's not able to break it. And maybe that's a bug in this mod. I don't know. Or maybe it is taking the durability of their other hoe, but I doubt it. So maybe it's a bug that I'm using in my favor. We have armor. This is tier 2 armor, which means we've gone to the nether a few times, got some blaze rods. We've made the armor, which if we go to recipes here, just iron with the mage bloom stuff. So instead of crafting stuff out of mage bloom for armor, it's an infusion recipe now. And then you can tier these up. So when you tier them up, it requires some resources. Ender pearls and chorus fruits the next tier for me, but blaze rods are the second tier. And that's pretty easy to get. 2 blaze rods is not a bad deal for some extra mana regen. What is that? Plus 2 mana regen per piece, plus 60 mana, and plus 2 armor. So armor, obviously, I'm not too concerned with, but the mana regen's huge. It's a plus 8 mana regen. I also made the mana regen amulet, so that's a plus 11 now. Plus 12 basically with this, and because I'm eating pie, it's a plus 20, so it's like a plus 30 mana regen, which is awesome when I'm doing stuff. And then, oh, actually, speaking of which, there we go. Give me that. 4 diamonds, 2 source, and 2 blaze rod. And we can make the upgraded one. Let's do that. Let's make the upgraded one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Upgrade. Yeah. The discount on spells is 20 instead of 10, which honestly is going to be huge if I want to dig out space. Speaking of digging out space, the underside of this island is literally solid obsidian. it's insanity in my opinion. Let's actually my excess here. As you can see from here, pretty much solid obsidian except for the dungeon. The outside is literally just covering up for the fact that this whole thing's obsidian, and yeah, I have zero interest in hollowing this whole thing out. It's going to take way too much time. And honestly, I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered at this point. Even with all the like advancements I've made with like extra mana cost reduction and stuff, it's just a lot of work that I don't care to do right now. So yeah, I don't have any plans right now for coring this out of obsidian. Maybe if we get some nice tools going and we can vein mine it all, but as of right now with spells, it ain't happening. Not happening at all. The mana reduction cost for stuff is awesome though, I will admit. But yeah, so other than the farm, the library, we're using bookworms and storage lectern. I've heard it's laggy to use storage lectern for big storage setups, but for something small like this, I'm even using their own repositories to store items with. Just unfiltered storage, unsorted storage, which honestly bothers me because I do like opening things myself, but in all honesty, it's not a huge deal. I have better ideas. I do like the fact that these look like bookshelves at least, and as you fill it up, the bookshelf gets fuller. I do like that idea. But yeah, my Bibliomania idea is going to be way different than this. I do like this portion of it. That is cool. Bibliomania will be maybe look similar at first, but it does not function the same for sure. Anywho, enough toting my own mod that doesn't actually exist in this version. Yeah, so this episode, we're going to go over kind of what's been going on this last week. I've been applying at all sorts of jobs. Any job that I have to commute a significant distance for. I live kind of rural in my state, kind of in the center of it nearly. And so a lot of places are 2.5 hours commute away. Well, I should say 1 to 2 hour, 1 to 2.5 hours of commute to some of our larger cities. Smaller cities, we're talking like 10-15 minutes to the smaller cities. So I've just been applying everywhere, mainly to the smaller cities. The problem with the smaller cities is a lot of them are small businesses. Small businesses in America don't tend to offer healthcare benefits. Healthcare benefits is equivalent to about $5 of our pay compensation. So $5 an hour worth of pay is roughly what a lot of companies figure for their healthcare benefits. If they offer like a better healthcare plan, it can be up to, actually let's math that real quick. Yeah, $5 of compensation per hour, 40 hours a week, 52 weeks. That's like $10,000 in total compensation. So a lot of these companies that are, say, doing $2,000 or $20,000 in compensation packages with all their benefits between like 401k match and dental vision health, and even like their site that usually has like discounts for like shoes or like your cell phone bill or stuff like that. Like they're offering this big compensation package. Those companies are usually larger companies that what they do is they split. Everyone pays healthcare premiums, and then that money gets divvied up to pay for the people that need the healthcare. So yeah, if you're not on like a group healthcare plan, then you're paying your own healthcare basically. And the way private healthcare works in America right now is it's kind of shite. I was pricing out some plans, and basically, if I want to pay nothing a month for private healthcare, my deductible is $15,000, and my maximum out of pocket, which is how much I would pay at max, is $16,000. Roughly, I'm estimating here, or rounding, I should say, up and down, respectively, or maybe not respectively, but I'm rounding up and down basically to use big numbers, big round numbers, I should say. But yeah, so 15,000 is 16,000. The problem with the 15,000 mark is that's a quarter of what my house is worth. And the fact that they won't even pay anything until I hit that 15,000 mark, sucks. And the fact that 16,000 is the maximum I can even pay in general, effectively this is healthcare that says, oh hey, you have $100,000 surgery coming up. Here, we'll cover you after 16,000. Yeah, yeah, that's going to be rough, honestly. Especially when a lot of companies, small companies, they're only offering $17 an hour starting, up to $18 an hour after like 90 days. Um, Not even that, not even a full 17 in some places as well. I think one company was saying like $16 with a dollar raise after 90 days. So yeah, honestly, healthcare is looking kind of bleak for me this next year. My goal, my actual goal here is I'm going to work for an easy company. That way, while I'm waiting for my non-compete clause to wear off for 6 months, and my 1 year don't go back to the same company I was working for. While those are wearing off, I have 10 months left until the year's up, or 4 months left until the 6 months is up, um, roughly. At the end of this month, that would be those times. Actually, the middle of the month. So by the 15th of November, I'll have been 2 months after separation from my company, basically. So yeah, for either of those though, mainly what I'm looking at is if I go back and work for my company as an hourly employee, hourly employees get free healthcare services. It's worth 15,000, 20,000 of per year of salary to go work part time for these fools, um, and just suck off the healthcare benefit from them. And it'd be really easy because they have morning and night positions available that are part time. The night one I think is the easiest, but either one would be open. That's free healthcare after. I don't know if you have to wait 60 days, or I think it's 3 months they have to wait for healthcare benefits. It might be a year for part timers. I can't remember what the current benefit is, but I know for like um, I know they have it. I know full timers are like 3 months for sure. I think part timers are like maybe 6 months or a year or something. So yeah, I'll have to figure out what the actual like compensation when it starts and stuff. But um, yeah, I give them the old middle finger, become a union member, make it impossible for them to actually fire me ever again, and suck them dry. Well, not dry, but suck off that medical health care benefits because theirs is very nice, especially if they pay for it in full for an hourly employee. Because as a manager for them, I was paying 120 to $400 a month, depending on if I was getting high deductible or a lower deductible plan. So, or a higher deductible if I was getting a lower deductible for the $400, or a higher deductible for the 120 a month. So yeah, yeah, stuff and things basically. Um, what else? Yeah, a lot of places have been looking at me. Actually, for the small town area, they've been hurting on people. So I applied for an insurance agency. Apparently, he gave up looking for people after like 2 months of people just calling and no showing to interviews. This guy just straight up gave up on even trying to hire someone for this insurance position. Not that I would want to work insurance because, but it's a job, right? There's a fabrication company. They're a pretty small company. They do kind of some niche work for some various machines. Um, and typically, six-figure people would have the type of machines in their homes, or would own them as property. And they make aftermarket parts for these machines. So the small company kind of has a niche market, and they're not super out there on the internet. They're actually their internet presence is very small, and so I have a feeling that they have a lot of growth opportunities, especially with like getting more clients. Right, I feel like there's a lot of growth opportunities for them out there on the internet, but I don't know if that's what they want. I would be surprised if they didn't want more sales, but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't want to grow that fast. But they seem to have a lot more growth opportunities. During my interview with their manager, they actually took a call during the interview, which maybe that's not super professional, but honestly, I didn't give a crap because if I get the job, who cares at the end of the day? But their manager that was interviewing me made it sound like that they were probably going to retire in the next 4 years. I mean, I could be wrong, maybe not. but this person is old enough. They talked a lot about like loving taking vacations and stuff, kind of the very much like I'm old enough to get out of this place type of feeling from this person. And their goal is to train me as a Swiss Army knife. Basically, it sounds like I'm going to be their assistant. I'm going to alleviate most of their extra responsibilities, and when they're gone, I'll basically kind of take over for them. Is what it kind of sounded like potentially is there. The only problem is they want to pay me like $16 an hour starting, 17 after 3 months, and I'm sitting here going, I would like to make $20 an hour. I could maybe leverage, say, hey, this insurance agency wants to pay me $20 an hour, but I would rather work for you guys. Is there an option for me to make $20 an hour within maybe 6 months, which would be, cool? Or could I even make more money than that? Like, what's the top rate I could expect to be, this replacement for this lady, manager? Potentially what does she make? So, if I succeeded her in say 4 years when she retires or something like that, could I be making 30 an hour? Is that unreasonable? I don't know. I mean, maybe it would be. I don't know. And there's also profit sharing as well. So, encouraging them to have a bigger internet presence would mean more customers, would mean more profit, would mean more bonuses at the end of the year. So yeah, I don't know. I've also been applying for anything that is kind of a few hours commute away. We're talking like general manager for stores, main manager for stores, that sort of thing. So I've been looking at higher end jobs, dispatching safety personnel basically to sites, those sort of jobs. Something that pays 50, 60, 70,000 a year sort of thing. I guess the GM position is more like 120,000 a year sort of thing. So yeah, I'm definitely applying for really big positions as well, just because I'd have to commute for them, and realistically I'd only ever want to work just that position and not like multiple jobs potentially. So yeah, what I'm currently looking at is biding my time, waiting the 6 months to the non-compete, and the 12 months for the can't go back to work for the same company agreement, and then at that time look into part-time options for basically healthcare, and then work at this fabrication company, which I think has a lot of potential. That's my goal. The main reason for this is the fabrication company is less work brain-wise. I can do the work that they're requiring for this fabrication company. I can do that without giving it too much brain power effectively. And that's good because I can come home and then I might be in the mood to program, which means we could work on, getting mods ported, maybe even before the end of the year sort of thing. Realistically, probably not before the end of the year, just because I would be starting a new job and I would really need to focus on the job and not, other things. But, I could also come back and do streaming at night and stuff if I just did the one job. Doing the two jobs would be a little hard to stream if I took the nighttime part-time position, where if I took a morning position, it'd be a lot easier to stream, even though I would have to go to bed kind of early so I could, be up in the morning for a morning position. But, regardless. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely looking at potentially having to work two jobs to make what I was making before, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. My wife currently doesn't work, but her friend's actually considering going back to work. And if that happens, my wife would be watching her friends' daughters, basically. And her friend would compensate her for that. So that'd be part-time wages basically for her coming in, which would be really beneficial to the family as well. She hasn't had to work, which is why she hasn't worked in the last 10 years. 5 years, I should say. We've only been married 5 years. We've been together for nearly 10. About the same as how long I've been with my previous company. But yeah, so that'd be part time. That would actually be enough to get us kind of better off. And she would be doing it for a friend. She wouldn't really be doing it as for a job sort of thing. So that'd actually be really beneficial for us and for her friend. Because my wife's a really good caregiver. Probably one of the best in the area, basically. Um, all of the families that she's done caregiving for recommend her to other families. And we're talking like doctors who can afford nannies and shit are like saying, "Hey, would you be our nanny?" And my wife has turned them down. We've kind of regretted that decision to an extent, but at the same time, not really, because there's times where like they need her when they're on vacation, the nanny, and the nanny's just like, "I don't know about that." So yeah. Um, yeah, so I don't know. We kind of kick ourselves in the pants for her not taking some of those nanny jobs, but at the same time, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that she hasn't, because um, it would be a lot more taxing on her to take a job like that. So, oh, that's not right. I did not know that was my last slash back location. That's scary as fudge. Let's not do that. Sad. But yeah, anyway, so I don't know. I'm looking at potentially having to work two jobs, which kind of sucks, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. The one blessing in disguise in this whole situation, though, is my father, who has had his house paid off since I was in high school, which we're talking, this is like almost 13, 14 years ago now. Um, Actually, he's probably had his house paid off for about nearly 20 years. High school, middle school era for me. Because that's kind of when my family, as a kid, I realized my family is acting like they have more money. So it was probably around that time where realistically is when he paid off the house. But yeah, so for the last 20 years or so, he's been saving shitloads of money because he's not paying on his house anymore. And he actually came and said, "Hey, son, you're paying, Joe Schmo insurance company. You're paying them $60,000 over the next 30 years, and where's your money is just kind of going into the ether, into the big pockets of these rich people. Would you rather pay your father the interest on your house and pay your father back for the house, instead of paying some big corporate entity that is just using your money to lobby or whatever, right?" And so I'm having to take my dad up on this. I don't like the idea of being indebted to him. Although on the same note, I pay for a cell phone bill every month, because he's the type of boomer dad that didn't want a cell phone, and so we kind of forced it on him. So the reason I'm paying for it is because we kind of forced a cell phone on him, and that's why I'm paying for it. But at the same time, he kind of feels guilty, and he writes me a check every few years for kind of what the bill would have cost. So it is nice that he does that. But I think this is towards that end. Like, he wants to get a one up on me, like, "Ha ha ha, I know how longer I have to pay you back for my cell phone because you owe me more money," right? So it's just like, I think it's one of those things. Like, he definitely wants to help us out, and to be fair, paying interest back to him sounds weird, but at the same time, it's like that's money going into the household that I'll probably just inherit later in life. He has a better stock portfolio. He has more the ability to leverage money easier than I do currently. And so there's a good chance that he's going to do that. And then when he passes, he might just have me inherit a lot more equity effectively. I am hoping he throws it into a trust or something, makes me a beneficiary, because I don't want to pay death tax on that crap when he passes. But that option is definitely available there, if I go this route. Also, I don't have enough equity in my home, so I'm also paying some of these extra fees that a lot of insurance or a lot of mortgage companies like to hit you with, as well as I am paying, I feel like, an exorbitant amount of money for home insurance. It's like almost $3,000 a month for a $60,000 house. I feel like it's way too much, but maybe it's not. But I feel like it is, considering it used to be $1,200 a year, and yet it's more than doubled now. So yeah, I should probably get my insurance figured out as well, if I were to take my dad up on this offer. So it would be a blessing in disguise. I could literally work any podunk little small town job at that rate and not really have to worry about things. Obviously, I still have to worry about medical a bit, just because it would kind of suck to It would kind of suck, honestly. But at the same time, maybe it wouldn't be all that bad. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the situation I'm in right now. I have some job interviews or some jobs getting back to me today, later this afternoon. Hopefully, maybe I can get some rest before it happens. But yeah, I think I've talked long enough. It's been another 30 minutes again of just straight talking, effectively, and running around in circles and doing next to nothing. So, thank you all for stopping by, hanging out. If you enjoyed my life story yet again, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know how the video's looking. I hope it looks better, because honestly, I'm gonna turn this off, render it, and upload it. I don't even have time to really check over things, unfortunately. So hopefully there's not too many glitches and stuff. But yeah, if you made it to the end, leave me a comment. Let me know how you thought the video went, and if you think it's looking better than it was before or not. So yeah, we'll catch you folks later. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon. Bye.